Where is this team right now? What is the disappointment level? What is the frustration level for this team?
Well, I mean, I think anytime you lose 3 games in 11 days, you're very disappointed, very frustrated, and at the same time, you got to realize you have an opportunity in front of you. So I think it was important for us to go back and watch it, see it, talk about it, and find ways to get better. I mean, that's the sole focus right now is we have to play better football, and the only way you can do that is you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to be accountable to it, and now's not the time for much rah-rah talk or anything like that. We're just got to find a way to win a football game, and we got to improve.
How is the Rams defense different, if at all, with the addition of Ramsey?
Yeah, well, I just think he's a dynamic player. You'll see him occasionally. He'll travel with certain receivers. It affords the safeties to kind of lean the other way and give some attention elsewhere because of their confidence in him. I mean, he's long, he's athletic, he's a smart football player. So they got a lot of those type of guys on that defense, veteran players that played at a high level for a long time. So it's going to be a big challenge. And going against Wade, I mean, he's been one of the top coordinators for a long time, and his defense still playing at a high level.
I know you have respect for Wade from your time
Yeah.
together, and you faced him since he's left here.
Yeah.
Coordinated against you, but there a little something extra for him?
Yeah, I mean, look, Wade's always going to be excited to go back and play, I'm sure. I'm a better football player because of my experience playing under him. He's just an incredible man. He's what playing in the NFL and coaching in the NFL is what it's all about, He did it the right way. That's what he stood for as a coach. And so he's a great example for all of us. And those 3.5 years, 4 years I was with him, I learned a lot about football, but probably more importantly, just how to be the right type of pro.
What makes Aaron Donald one of the most disruptive defensive linemen?
Well, he's just rare. I think the combination of power and explosiveness all in one guy. I don't think you don't see that every week in the National Football League. But the more you watch him, he's taking on. Of course, protections are being slide to him, and when he does that, he's smart. He knows how to attack it. He's disruptive. He gets up the field, but he also takes on double teams and he finds ways to get the one-on-one block and move him around. So, he's just a rare combination of power and explosion that he has, and just continues. Seems like he gets better and better every time you watch him on tape.
What's your level of conviction that this team wants what it can still have?
Oh, 100% conviction. I think the conviction is for everybody has that mindset, but you got to go do it. And this isn't some fairy tale, and you hope. You got to go earn it. It's right there for us, and we got to take it. And it starts with playing. We got to play a lot better football.
Week after week, you guys have continued to have this wiggle room somehow.
Yeah.
The fact that you're starting to run out of it, is that maybe a helpful motivator for this locker room?
I don't know. It's helpful. The only thing really going to be helpful for us is to start playing better. And give you some confidence and go out there and play. Confidence comes with having success. That's how this league works. So, this opportunity is rare, and you got to seize it. And certainly we're on the clock with the time.
Winning the NFC East is only one of this franchise's, this locker room's goals. If you guys are going to do what you really want to do, it requires more than that. Does this? I think a lot of people would agree this locker room has the talent. Does it have the makeup to be able to go on the run that you guys need to go on?
Yeah, we'll find out. I believe you do, but you look, the teams that go on it and the teams that fall short. That's a small percentage. Look, I played the Giants twice as 6 seeds, and they've gone on and won a Super Bowl. So now there's a lot of stories, and you can convince yourself to say that. You can't approach it that way. Your mindset's got to be right now. Look back at those last 3 games. We had a long weekend, had some time off. I think our team collectively got better from doing that. That's the starting point. Had a good week of practice, and competition only gets tougher at this point. This is a good team. But yeah, I think we have the makeup. But as I said, talk's cheap at that point.
When you look at those stories, those examples, is there usually a turning point game or moment in those stories?
Well, absolutely. They start playing good football. I think it goes with, that sign up there. Do your job, and do your job at a high level. That's where it starts individually. I think as a veteran, what you try to show is that, you know, I mean, there are no secrets. You know, the secret is going out there and doing it, and that comes with confidence, and confidence comes from going to play well. I mean, we have our identity of how we're going to try to play games. That's not really changing. So it gets down to how we play.
Do you think you've changed your identity to a passing team, or has it not been by choice? It's been forced upon you because
Yeah, I think it's a combination. You know, I think we probably would have liked to stick with our running game a little bit more. You know, I thought we actually ran the ball pretty good against the Bears. You know, there's been times throughout the season it hasn't been consistently enough of what we want it to be. But yeah, I think, you know, the whole saying, take what defense gives you. I mean, I think our passing attack has helped us this year, in some games. But I mean, of course, you'd rather stick to some of those runs before the game's gotten out of hand.
The follow-up is not been there this on the field. You know, Ben has gone off, so we saw you going off on the sideline. The players are not listening all the way through. Have you taken too much with your back?
I don't believe so. I think, you know, you get in these games and there's a handful of things that happen and have to happen in order for you to have success. And I think that's the communication, you know, of different points in these games. You know, those 4 or 5 plays, they can make or break games, you know, and that urgency, having understanding. So I think the leadership's strong. You know, this is the time you have to step up as leaders. You got to be able to show it and how you play and how you go about your everyday job, you know, because that's what people are watching, you know, and so that needs to continue to show up.
You mentioned the "Do Your Job" that's plastered all over
Yeah.
the place. I don't know if you saw the Saban Belichick documentary.
I did, yeah.
What they talk
Big
about,
fan.
one of the key tenets of do your job and why it works is because everybody knows clearly what their job is. Do
Yeah.
you feel like it's been clearly defined in this organization what each individual person's job is?
Yeah, I do. And, you know, I think a big part of what I was saying this weekend and early in the week on Monday was it was important for us to go back and look at those games. You know, when you play 3 games in 11, 12 days, you just kind of move on to the next one, you know, and I think the only way you can do your job at a high level is that you communicate it, you go back and watch it. And individually you have to do that as a coach to player, coach to coach, and throughout the entire team, you know, and I think that's a great example. That's the only way I know to improve is being able to go back and watch it and be critical of it, you know, and get it fixed.
Have you done that as a group in a way that you normally don't?
No, I mean, I think we always try to do that. Even after a long weekend, you know, we came back and watched the Bears game, which was important.
Are the Rams sort of a good example for you guys as far as how quickly perception can change and how quickly you can gain confidence and momentum?
Yeah, I mean, I think they have the blueprint and what they've tried to do, and more than anything else, you know, I just think it shows the margin and how tough it is every week in this league, you know, and if you want to play in those type of games, you know, there has to be a standard in which always shows up, you know, and I don't think that's shown up consistently enough for us, you know, and you're going to win some, you're going to lose, you know, you're going to have a couple losses. Those are good teams are going to still lose, but the way in which you play, you know, and I think that's been a tough part for us because that hasn't shown up at the high enough level as we expect.
Why do you think that is?
It's a good question, you know. I mean, I think just haven't played as well as we need to, you know. I mean, look, it's not rocket science here. I mean, those guys are good. They're talented, and it's a challenge every time you go out there, you know. So just got to do better.
You were really good too.
Huh?
But you guys thought you were
Yeah,
really good.
absolutely. Yeah. It's not over yet. Yeah. All right, guys.